So dear students, we are now in environmental lab. We discussed about the experiment of dissolved oxygen. Now we are going to perform this experiment of dissolved oxygen, and for performing this experiment we require basically 4 chemicals which Ingole sir has prepared. First is the manganese sulfate. So you can see that this is the manganese sulfate that we have prepared. Then second is the alkali iodide azide. So alkali iodide azide is the solution. Then we use starch as an indicator. So starch indicator is required to be prepared fresh. So we have prepared it fresh today, and of course the concentrated sulfuric acid. Now as it is concentrated sulfuric acid, we have to handle it carefully. Now these are the 4 basic chemicals that we are going to make use of in this particular experiment of DO. So now let us see the procedure for DO. Now we are going to the second phase of this experiment. So we have to fill the BOD bottles. Now I am just trying to show you the difference between the ordinary bottle and the BOD bottle. So this is the BOD bottle. As you can see, its neck, it's tight, airtight. So when the sample is filled in the BOD bottle, it won't come in contact with the air, and hence the dissolved oxygen won't change. And this is our normal bottle, reagent bottle. So the reagent bottle has got little loose opener. So there are chances that there will be air contact and the DO value will vary. Now we normally, when perform it in the lab, we take 4 samples. Sample 1 is the actual sample which we collect from the field. So this is the grey water that we have collected. Now you can see that this is dirty water, and Ingole sir is shaking this bottle. So you can see that this is completely dirty and lot of solids are there. We discussed about solids also. Then this is our normal AquaGuard water that we are using for drinking purpose. So it will have high DO, that we will confirm. Then in that same AquaGuard water we add salt. Now as discussed in the theory, when we add salt, the DO reduces. So we are going to confirm that. And the fourth is the heated water. So this is the heated water, and you can see the temperature of this heated water is still going up. So maybe it has been heated to around 70-75 degrees or so. So this is the heated water. So these are the 4 samples for which we are going to find the DO, and then we will make the further conclusions. Now we have filled the BOD bottles with the samples. 3 BOD bottles we have already filled, that is the grey water, then the drinking water, and then the sample with salt. Now 4th, we are purposely doing it right now, that is the heated water. We are filling it in the BOD bottle. Now how the bottle is to be filled? So we have to fill the bottle completely till it overflows. Once the bottle overflows, we have to put the stopper. So once we put the stopper, some overflow will occur. Now this being the hot water bottle, Ingole sir is using the towel, kerchief. Now that bottle has been filled completely. Now he is removing it. Now to this same bottle, now we are going to add the already prepared 2 chemicals, that is manganese sulfate and alkali iodide azide. To each of these sample, we are going to add 2 ml of these samples. So we have filled the BOD bottles, 4 BOD bottles with the stopper. Now to each of these BOD bottles, Ingole sir is going to add 2 ml of manganese sulfate. Ingole sir, you can add 2 ml of manganese sulfate to each of the bottles. First, the grey water, 2 ml has been added. You can see he is stopping at 2 ml. Now as he has got practice, it is possible for him that he will start at 2 and stop at 4, or earlier he started at 0 and stopped at 2. For you and me, it will require a lot of practice. Then the third sample containing the salt. So the drinking water with salt, again 2 ml have been added. Yes. And the fourth is the hot water, to which again the 4 ml of manganese sulfate has been added. Yes. Thank you, Ingole sir. Now he is going to add the alkali iodide azide. So again 2 ml to each of the bottles. Now you observe it, what is happening, what change you can see, whether there is any change in the color. Yes, when it is added to the other bottle, see the change in the color. First bottle it is white, second it is brown, so the precipitate is formed. And as we have discussed in the theory, if it is white precipitate, the DO is absent, and if it is brown precipitate, the DO is present. Now observe the second bottle and third bottle very carefully. Second bottle, the color is dark, third bottle comparatively lighter than the second one, and the fourth still lighter. So bottle 2, 3 and 4, these are the different versions of the same sample, that is the drinking water with salt and hot heated water, and you can see the DO is varying. And in the first bottle, this being the sewage or the grey water, the DO is absent, and exactly the same thing will get reflected now from our titration. Now you can see the precipitate, it has got settled. Now to these bottles, now we are going to add concentrated sulfuric acid. So while adding concentrated sulfuric acid, we have to take extra care. So the sulfuric acid will be added. Ingole sir, how many ml you are going to add?
2 ml.
2 ml. Now see what change is happening to the precipitate. So 2 ml has been added to the first bottle, then to the second bottle, then to the third bottle. This is hot water, so we have to be little careful. You can see the fumes coming out. So in schools we have learned whether we have to add acid to water or water to acid. Have you followed the basic principle? Just give it a thought. Whether we can add water to acid or acid to water, and whether Ingole sir has done it correctly or not. And in the meantime, see what change is happening to the precipitate. Now we are going to the third phase, that is titration. Now we are going to the process of standardization. So in standardization, what we have done is, we have first taken 2 grams of potassium iodide in the conical flask, to which 100 ml of distilled water was added. Then 100 ml of dilute sulfuric acid was added. So for preparing dilute sulfuric acid, what we do is, we take 9 ml of distilled water and add 1 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to it. So 10 ml of dilute distilled water we have added, and then we have added 10 ml of 0.025 normal potassium dichromate solution. Now potassium dichromate is orange color solution. You can see this is 0.025 normal potassium dichromate. Now if this sodium thiosulfate, it has to be standardized at the time of titration, because it changes its normality on exposure to the atmosphere. So sodium thiosulfate is one such solution which changes its normality when it comes in contact with the air outside or the temperature effect, etc. If you remember in your environmental engineering 1, you have done standardization of silver nitrate, etc. while performing those experiments of chlorides. And if you remember, silver nitrate, we store it in amber colored bottle. So because why so? Because when it comes in contact with air or the sunlight, it changes its normality. So here also we are actually going to check the normality of sodium thiosulfate that we have. Theoretically, our reading, our burette reading should be 10. So if we get exactly 10 and the color changes from earlier color to colorless, it is an indication that our titration is correct, and we have got a reading of 10.8, right, Ingole sir? Let me see.
Yes.
The lower meniscus. Okay,
10.
so it is showing 10.8. So we will use this, and N1 V1 equal to N2 V2. We will find the normality. Okay, now we are going to titrate the second sample, that is the drinking water. Again, as we have done in the earlier case, we are going to extract 203 ml. So for 200 ml, we will use the measuring cylinder directly. So up to 200 ml, it will be filled directly from the BOD bottle, and remaining 3 ml will be extracted using the pipette. So 300 ml has been added. So we are coming to 203 ml. Now transfer this to the conical flask. Transfer this to the conical flask. Add about 2 ml of starch indicator. Now you can see the color when the starch is added, and if DO is present, we get blue color. So you can see the sample is turning blue. Now just we have to shake the beaker properly, and now we are going to titrate it against standardized sodium thiosulfate. You need not look at the burette as such. Just concentrate on the conical flask and put the titrant drop by drop. Now you can see as the ml of titrant going down the burette is increasing, this blue color is disappearing, and at the same time we have to keep it shaking also. The flask is kept shaking so that it will be mixed, and our end point is blue to colorless. Yes, now the sample is almost colorless, but we have to observe it against light background. So observe it against light background, still some blue color can be seen. Maybe this white background we can observe. Yeah, now you can see that it has become colorless, right? So this is our end point. Well, sir, just note the reading. 8.4. 8.4 is the reading. So we will use this reading in the final calculation. Now we are going to deal with the third sample. That is, it was the same drinking water to which we have added salt. So again, the first part is same. Extract 203 ml. So 203 ml will be extracted. Add starch indicator. So this is 203. Starch indicator you will add later. Okay. Now interestingly, what you have to see here is, now when the starch indicator is added, see the blue color that is developed. But now you will very well appreciate that for the earlier sample, the blue color was quite dark, isn't it? Earlier sample, the blue color that was observed was quite high. Intensity of color was high as compared to this. So this is also an indication of the value of DO, and the same will get reflected from the burette reading also. Earlier we have got 8.3, the endpoint was 8.3. In this case, maybe it could be something like 6, 6.5 or 7, we don't know. Let us titrate it and let us confirm. Now remember students, these same samples, or at least two of these samples, we are going to use for the next experiment, that is determination of BOD. Now this BOD is an extension of dissolved oxygen. So in BOD experiment, what actually we do is, we find the initial DO as we are doing today, and then we will keep the samples, bottles for incubation in the incubator for 3 days, and we will find out the final DO. So difference between initial DO and final DO multiplied by the dilution factor gives us the BOD. So BOD is one of the important parameters that is normally made use of in the calculations. Still some color is observed. Yes. Whether the color has disappeared? Not yet. Okay. Guys. Yes. Now Ingole sir, how much is the burette reading?
7.
7. So
Exact.
earlier sample it was 8.3. Now this is 7. Okay. So here we confirm that as the salt concentration increases, the DO value reduces. Now our fourth sample was the heated water. Of course, when the water was heated and the chemicals were added, DO fixation was done. At that time the temperature was around 75 degrees or so. Now of course it has come down. So as earlier, again extract 203 ml of the sample. Here we expect that the DO will be still less, and here we want to confirm that as the temperature increases, the DO value reduces. So as usual, 200 ml directly in the measuring cylinder, 3 ml from the pipette, transfer it to the conical flask. To this conical flask, you add the starch indicator. Again, observe the intensity of blue color. I hope it is clear that intensity of this blue color is even lesser than what we got in the earlier one. Okay, so here we expect again the burette reading to be around 7. Ingole sir, what is the initial reading?
7. Exact 7.
7. So you are not adjusting it to 0. Just keep it in mind. Okay. So normally we are told that again we have to fill the titrant to 0, make it 0, lower meniscus. But now he has started from 7. So our final reading.
Blue to colorless.
Yes, you can see that already the color has started disappearing with even very small ml of titrant being used. You can see it has gone blue to colorless, and the burette reading was now is. No, you just tell the burette reading, 10 or 12, whatever you are.
4.5.
So final burette reading is 4.5. So he has used 4.5 ml. So 8 point, first of course no DO, AquaGuard 8.3, water with salt was 7, and now how much? 4.5. These are our readings. So with this we will go to the calculation part, and we will discuss about calculations later. I hope the procedure that we have carried out is clear to you, and I would like you people to clap for Ingole sir for all the preparations and the experiment that he has done. So Ingole sir, thank you very much. Yes, thank you.